So how do we design it? I think you have to start with the basics, the interaction, consequences, evaluation, and goals. You can change the names of these, or this is like possible. This is not like the end all be all yardstick, but it's where I've started to approach this from. So how do we interact? We've got touch, obviously. Rhythm is also really important in a lot of these experiences. None of these are exclusive. Obviously, it's kind of like whatever you need or want it to be. And then there's lots of verbal communication. For the sake of this, I'm going to ditch the verbal communication. I'm not trying to make Tom Clancy's End War, but hot. So then how do these interactions evaluated? So you can touch, you can kind of like create this rhythm that you've got going on. How is this actually going to be gauged in the long run? I think this is like fairly straightforward. It's like, does it feel good? Is your rhythm, is your touch, is it too much? Is it too little? Is it too erratic? Um, what is the range at which that this is enjoyable, and what are the expectations? What's the things that your partner in this virtual experience enjoys? What are the things that they don't enjoy? And are you being able to meet those expectations? And then consequences. Again, consequences and evaluation are very closely tied together. But let's say that we have kind of like if we're gauging your partner's mood, this is like an actual idea of a mood, which again, set of expectations. This is like how aroused are they? How much pleasure are they feeling? This is something where like your interactions can increase or change any one of these ideas. And then obviously you've got the idea that you can have like the ultimate goal achieved climax, or you can like be doing so badly they're just like, no, I'm done. I don't want to. You're not doing it for me. So the last part of this is goals. The goal is pretty self-explanatory, but let's say like, how do we communicate this goal to the player? You could do a meter. I think that's boring, and I think it kind of just like cheapens the experience a little bit. The idea is supposed to be an engaging and interactive experience where like you're trying to figure out like, am I doing this right? Am I not doing this right? Maybe you have part of this uh, figured out. It's not a puzzle, but like maybe you have part of this like, okay, this is working really well, but this isn't working so well. And that kind of like meter fight might be it might be boring, but it also might be frustrating, and it won't provide enough actual feedback to know what parts are working and aren't working. So we got our basics. We got haptic, visual, and audio. Haptic feedback is great. I think we've already been conditioned to know like what like a sharp bite of a rumble would be like, oh, that's bad. Like repeat that 3 times. That's bad. Whatever I did there was not good. And then you can kind of like have like a rolling rumble for something that is like increasing. You're like, okay, I'm doing better here. Kind of like a softer pulsing thing could be very indicative of like, yes, whatever I'm doing better than I was before. Visual feedback, obviously, could be very explicit, but like let's say that it's going to be this very much abstract idea of like it's representing the mood, like that changes the colors, that changes the like pulse of whatever these visual graphics are, and then we can take the idea of like arousal and pleasure and play that into how these graphics kind of like unfold. Very much similar to like Luxuria Superbia. And then we have audio feedback. This is not easy, again, but like there's tons of games out there that do a really good job of flowing music from one idea to the next, based on kind of like the encounters or the intensity of the situation. And this is even better because we're trying to build this idea of rhythm into the game. So we could definitely have that be a suggestive idea where your partner's like, hey, this is the music that is working for me. And if you kind of like take that and kind of almost like rhythm game it, um, that could help somebody actually like understand what their partner wants, virtual partner wants, and respond to that.